Alrighty, hello Hawkeye fans. Welcome back to our homes for another Hawk2Hawk interview. Joining me today from his home is head coach of the men's and women's swimming and diving team, Marc Long. Coach, how are you? How are you doing?
Well, we're doing well here with our family in our home, but yeah, it has been a little surreal to have every morning here waking up and being at home and not going into the pool.
Yeah, that was actually the first question I was going to ask you. Is this has to be kind of an odd experience for you? I mean, this is probably the longest you've gone without being on a pool deck in your career, right?
Absolutely, and with our sport too, there's always somebody training for something, whether it's an international student training for their home nationals or a trials or people staying postgrads or whatever it might be. There's something going on year round. So to not have that is different, definitely different.
Yeah, so I mean, you mentioned the international kind of aspect of the sport. You guys have a lot of international student athletes on your team. So how has that kind of been for you, or any challenges that you've faced with communicating with your team?
Yeah, we have about a dozen kids that they're international, and I tell you, their perspective has been so great. Really, they seem to be really grasp early on that they have such obviously a worldwide view, but it really is very different depending on their country. So some countries they wanted them to stay here, and they wanted to stay here as well. And then they're also thinking right away they wanted to stay here because they were worried about getting back here in the fall with visas and so on. But as things started shutting down and their nationals started being canceled back home, I would say, we have kind of a mixed bag. Some are still here in town. Others have gone home to be with their families, but there's no facilities anywhere for them to train. So it's really just about a family choice at this time. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you still communicating with your team? Are you having any Zoom meetings like this, or what's that like?
Yeah, we have Zoom meetings, and right now we're doing them once a week. We go separate, men and women, and it was just really good. We're in the people business, so to be able to see our team and have them communicate. I mean, the first meeting we had, we just went around the team and asked how things are going. And that's where we are right now, is we're checking in with them. They just started online classes a week ago. We want to make sure that's all going well. They're adjusting to being at home. And depending on the state they're in or the country, I mean, you got to remember, some of these people that went home were quarantined for 2 weeks. So we were Zooming with them from their bedroom in isolation. And, so we're just talked a lot about that. And it's just been a different experience for each person. Plus, for them to talk to us, it might be midnight or later back home, or 2 a.m. sometimes for them to get up and take their classes.
Oh my
So
gosh,
challenging.
yeah. That presents a really interesting set of challenges that I don't think, I mean, I didn't even think about that as far as online classes go. Wow, that's incredible. I mean, aside from all of those challenges, when you're having these meetings with international and students here in the States, what are kind of the messages that you're sending to them about, perspective, positivity, things like that, kind of trying to uplift them as their leader?
Yeah, so we've got a great staff, and our department has done, I think, a really nice job with communicating with them. But in a situation like this, we all know we had NCAA's cut short. I think the women are a week away from ending their season, and these people that qualified, right away were able to grasp that this is bigger than that. It was obviously heartbreaking, but I think all in all, we just want to make sure that they are grasping and can be role models with what's going on. I mean, we have a worldwide pandemic, and so we talk about that, but it's just, getting a group of athletes, they're always used to looking towards the future. When we sit down in our meetings, we're not just looking about today. You do as far as what you can do today to get better, but it's always goals that are a month, 6 months, a year, 4 years away. And I think in a case like this, that's exactly what we want to be talking about. How can you be better when you're in an isolation? And these are just situations where we want them to grasp and be leaders in what's happening out there in the world. And same with our coaching staff. We need to understand that this is just tragic, and we've never been through anything like this in our lifetime. But yet also, how are you doing, mentally physically, what are ways you're challenging yourself? And we believe strongly you can still rise above whatever obstacle you have and be better in some way, whether that's reading books or mentally challenging yourself, or physical routines that are just different.
I do want to talk about, the future. You talk about the women's team, 50% of them were newcomers. So looking ahead to next season, I mean, what excites you about everyone that's coming back? If you can even, fathom thinking about the next season and what's to come.
Yeah, so it's a strong group, and we also are adding some very talented individuals, and they're serious students. They're dedicated to their sport, and good people. They want to work hard. So we're excited about continuing that progress of moving forward. Recruiting is alive and well still in all of this, and the response has been great with that. So yeah, we're excited about all that. There's just a lot of unknowns right now. So so again, the focus is moving forward. We're doing our leadership team vote that normally would have happened. We would have had our banquet coming up, and that's when we would have announced it. We don't know if we'll have a virtual banquet, but we're still touching base and trying to give them some normalcy, at least with seeing our faces and communicating with them.
Yeah. We mentioned here at the beginning that this is the longest that you can remember that you've been away from the pool deck. So having less structure, a little more free time, what do you find yourself doing with that free time?
Well, a lot more with the family. I mean, a lot of our practices also are early mornings. So I'm gone before they get up and go to school most mornings, including Saturdays. So, it's been an adjustment. Parts of it have been outstanding, like family time wise. It's been tremendous. I have a sophomore in high school and an 8th grader, both boys, and we've tried to. We're obviously spending a lot of time together, but a couple things, we're using the same thing. We want to get better through this. So, my wife and I are doing our own kind of challenges as far as how we can be healthier. And I know she's got a plank challenge. She's up over 7 minutes now. I think adding 15 seconds a day. I'm trying to average 5K a day on average, and I'm a better swimmer than a runner. But also I think the most important thing is our time with our family, and we're sitting down and we're having family meetings and we're playing board games and we're talking about things in the evening and being very open about what's going on out there. I'm trying to, one of the struggles I know with any college kid is scheduling your day. And so we're laying it out to them. There's a lot of unknowns with their school. My wife's a high school teacher as well. And so they have to really plan. And so we talk about that. What will the plan be tomorrow? These are the things to get done, and so on. So it's not like we're sitting down at the table homeschooling at this time, but we're really just trying to be open with them and communicate, and it's been a lot of fun. And then we try to take a walk every day as a family. We went 6 miles yesterday. So the perimeter is getting a little closer each time, staying where we're not running into people and things. But, those are things I think we'll really treasure at the end of the day, being at home like that.
I can't skim over the fact that your wife does a 7-minute plank. That is, I know, incredible.
She's actually, I think 7:15 now is what it is. Yeah.
Wow. And I'm feeling a little bit sad. I'm not doing enough. When you tell me you're taking 6-mile family walks, a 5K a day, and 7-minute, 15-second plank, I need to step my game up. That's what I'm learning.
Well, and there's so much out there when you realize, again, we love routine. So we're trying to find a new normal and a new routine and just kind of accept that this is the new norm. And we're finding as a family what we can do to be better. And again, we're very open with certain things that we've talked about sitting down with their kids about for years, and now we are. And again, that's the intangible I think will pay off down the road. But right now we also are being very open with what's going on in the news, and New York and these places that are getting hit so hard. And these are things that we aren't used to seeing in America. But again, going back to some of our international kids, we have people on our team from these smaller countries whose parents went through civil wars, in these countries. So getting that perspective again is so important for us and for the young people, that we can get through this. There's going to be some tough times.
Well, I'm just going to kind of close it out here. Is there anything that you wanted to add, first of all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We're just busy trying to plan for a better future with our team and our program and department and university, and we're trying to stay positive as well. So it's
all right.
Yeah, each one day at a time, and we're all in this together. I think we're all in this together message that they have going around with the hospitals, and that is so important right now. And I think hopefully, again, there'll be a big change out there, and things will be better in the end.
Yeah. Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I'll let you get back to your walks and your runs and communicating with your team and things like that. But we do really appreciate your time. And overall, we appreciate your perspective, because we love that you're using your platform and encouraging your team to use theirs as well to change the perspective of the world and the people around us. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, and you guys enjoy this time as well, and stay safe and healthy.